been the biggest adjustment, Zach, in terms of just life and maybe outside of football?
Managing my free time, actually studying for classes, because I have a lot now. I go to 3 classes, which is like 3 hours, and I have the rest of the day to get up to whatever I want to do. So it's taking time to actually do like important stuff like studying and going to sleep early. That's a big thing.
This was obviously a very difficult decision for you. People spent a lot of time trying to read the tea leaves with it. How did you kind of handle that whole process? Obviously, you kind of shut people out.
That's what I did. I just, like, if you weren't in my inner circle, then you didn't know anything about.
And when did it? The conventional wisdom is that you were leaning one way, and then toward the end, you flipped. You changed your mind in terms of Ohio State. What was it in the end that you made you choose Ohio State?
Just really, I mean, it was close to home. That was a big thing. Being able to play from my home school and build a name for myself at home where I already am. Those were the big things too. My parents played a big role. They talked me through and helped me sort my emotions and my feelings for everything. I ended up here.
How conflicted were you? How close were you to going?
I was pretty stuck up until the Saturday before. So signed up Wednesday. I was completely confused till Saturday night.
And what was it that ultimately made you decide on Ohio State?
Like I said, it was just the fact that it was close to home and all the factors really. Just my mom helped me sort through, my dad helped me sort through. That's what I wanted to do is here.
Can I imagine when you made that decision, there was peace of mind you hadn't had for a long time?
Oh yeah. When I called the coaches, I don't know what day I called them. When I called the coach, I think it was that Monday, I called him and I was like, I sat there at the table. I was like, I'm done. It's just it. Like, I slept like a baby that night too. It's crazy.
What's your relationship like already with Coach Johnson? What's that like?
I mean, I met him my freshman year, I think the spring of my freshman year. So I've known Coach J for a long time now, and that's I know he's great at what he does, and I can't wait to start actually working with him.
I talked to him out at the Rose Bowl about your immediate impact, and they said they want to use you, but they also said they want to ease you into the role. What do you expect your role to be this coming season?
I don't really know. I hope to get on the field. I hope to play, but I'm just trying to come in and work, just put my head down and grind.
Do you feel like you're more familiar with the program being from the Columbus area than maybe someone like Garrett or one of those other guys from out of state? How much more do you know about the program with being in the same city as the program?
I'd say not much, as much as you think, but I know more because I've been able to visit more often, take more visits than they have, but it's a 20-minute job as opposed to a 6-hour plane flight. So.
What was the final conversation like when you decided on Ohio State? Who did you talk to, and why did you come to that day?
Like, who did I talk to from here, or who did I talk to at
Who did you talk? Who were you talking at home?
My parents, my mom and dad. We sat at the kitchen table. Before I went to my friend's house, we sat in the living room and just talked it out.
Did you know that day that you were just gonna make a decision, or did it just sort of come up naturally?
No, I just we were talking and ended up, this is Ohio State's where I want to go.
At what did you think that you were gonna end up elsewhere at some point?
Yeah, through the process, it was. I don't know if I'd end up somewhere, but I just didn't know. I was confused. So.
Did you not expect things to be as publicized as they were? I mean, being a kid that grew up, you've seen the recruiting process, I imagine, following Ohio State, but it seemed like from the little you did talk about it that you didn't want it to be a big deal, and then that maybe made it even more of a big deal. Did that surprise you how closely people were following?
Yeah, it was kind of weird. I noticed, I looked on Twitter a couple times and searched my name up, and all these dudes were talking about me and all this. It was strange.
If you're going to give advice to future guys, especially guys that live locally or in state, how would you tell them to handle it based on how things went with you?
I'd say just handle it however you and your family need to handle it. And one of the things I tell people is listen to your parents. They want the best for you, so they're not going to lie to you. They're going to tell you what they feel, and they've been through it, so they know what's really is best.
How have you developed relationships with the rest of the defensive line? We talked to guys like Chase about you before, and it sounds like you've already formed relationships.
Yeah. So it's like when I got here, they're all accepting, and they kind of just welcome me in. And now it's like time gets closer and more to know the guys.
Zach, you said you wanted to keep your head down and grind, to the fall. But you've been a competitor most of your life. I mean, you got to have some goals. What are goals you've set for yourself this season?
I really haven't thought about this season very much. Like I said, I really only want to come just work, and whatever happens, happens.
What about your Ohio State career in total, when you kind of picture?
When it's all said and done?
Yeah, how would that be?
I mean, I wanna like leave a legacy here. I want people to be like, oh, Zach Harrison, he was one of the greats to come through Ohio State. And that's going to mean a lot more to me because coming from home, like, so I'll be able to take my kids here and grow up in a community where they know my name and stuff like that.
How are the winter workouts going for you?
They're tough. They're hard, but getting through them is kind of fun.
How would you describe sort of where you are right now as an athlete and where you are as a football player versus where you think you could get to?
I don't think I scratched the surface. I think I have a long way to go, which is really exciting. I'm decent right now, but it's starting to take off.
How would you describe, I'm sure you've answered all this stuff before, so I apologize, but you and Coach Johnson, how would you describe what you guys are like?
Coach J is my guy. Like, I've known him for 4 years now. It'll be the 4th year of me knowing him, so I've got a lot of trust in him. I think he trusts me, so we're in a good relationship.
How much of, when you're playing for a guy like Coach Johnson, how much of it is the personal relationship and just what he's like as a person, and how much is it maybe knowing the guys he's taught in the past and the guys he's helped develop? You know what I mean? Like
it's all of the above.
Okay.
Like, I don't, like, if you're playing for him, even so far just doing workouts and drills, like when he's watching you don't want to let him down. You don't want to be disappointed, so you're going to go that much harder. And knowing that he's coached some of the best D linemen at Ohio State, so he knows what he's talking about. So that on top of the fact that you don't want to let him down, it's just you go that much harder for him.
Zach, through the recruiting process and through kind of him coming to Ohio State, can you describe what your relationship with Greg Madison has been, and especially since he's come through Ohio?
When Coach Matty was at the team up north, we had a good relationship. We're real good. I love Coach Matty. Now that he's here, it's like Christmas, man. I heard he was coming, so I got two of the guys who I like the most during the recruiting process at the same place.
And then you mentioned, like, Ohio State got another coach from Michigan as well, Washington.
Same thing with Coach Washington.
In what way do you think they kind of impact this coaching staff? I mean, especially bringing them from Ohio State's rival. What do they bring to this coaching staff?
I know Coach Madison. He's been around for a minute, so he knows a lot of football. He's good at what he does. And Coach Washington just has an energy about him. He's a young coach, so he's going to bring so much energy, and it's a different. I wasn't here before, so I don't really know, but I just know that he's going to bring a lot of energy.
Yeah, how much did you get to know them?
A lot. I know them pretty well, yeah.
What kind of impact did they make in your recruiting process?
What do you mean?
Like, do you feel like, how did you feel in terms of their recruiting style? In terms of, like, when they came, like, did you feel comfortable with them?
Yeah.
Like, in what ways did they make you feel comfortable?
Just building personal relationships with me and talking about stuff that's not football.
So the coaches, when Michigan was recruiting you, who were the coaches that recruited you the most?
Those two, Coach Matty and Coach Washington.
And which Ohio State coach recruited you the most?
Coach J.
Okay. So, like, the three coaches that recruited you the hardest all wound up
Same place.
Is that, like, when that happened, were you like, what?
Yeah, I was like, I didn't believe it at first.